Hello and welcome to another episode of League Talk. Today is episode number 8. We are talking about all the current changes, Season 4, and some roster changes today. And of course, I'm joined by the usual Mr. Anthony,
Hello.
the also kind of usual but weird guy, Mr. Jimmy.
Hello, I am the usual but weird guy, Mr. Jimmy.
And the not very common, but he has appearance again, finally, Matt.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Douchebag over there. He's always so busy he can't do these podcasts. Fuck it. Alright, so, and of course, got myself, your host today, Hector, Moose, Gutierrez, Hero 94, whatever you know me by, that's who I am. You guys can stop muting your mics now also. It's throwing me off, you jackasses. But we're gonna start off with what you guys have done this week. Anthony, what you been doing? Last 2 weeks actually.
Last 2 weeks. Oh God, what have I been doing? Last week on Sunday I went to AZ Games and played at the SCG IQ.
Yeah.
Yes, it was amazing, and I ended up getting second place for that.
Why are you so good, man? Why are you so good at this game?
Well, I mean, going into the finals, I knew my matchup was kind of like meh because he was mono red, but I kind of just told the guy I was just gonna split pies with him if he was okay with that, and I ended up winning a pen, and I also got this for getting into top 4. I don't know if you can see it, but
Let me see.
Really don't play Matt.
Oh, dude, that is sick.
so I got like 125, and
Yeah, I think your matchup was better than 50-50, honestly. Like, you probably should. I feel like you should have played it.
it was like 60-40.
This is what I told him. I told him he should have split and played for the
invite?
points. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
I don't
Because
know.
you just kind of gave him the invite also, and he was just like, whatever.
Alexis already had an invite. He was just playing for the open points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he needed
should've,
the open invite, or the open points.
Like I said, I just feel like you should have played it out. Not a big deal though. I can't wait till I get back, guys, and I'll be able to play. Also, shoutouts to the new location A2Z has.
Oh, it's so sweet. It's so sweet.
All right. What about you, Jimmy? Or PF? What else have you done? You haven't just played Magic for 2 weeks. What the fuck?
I mean, I've been busy with school and League of Legends. I'm ready for Season 4 to start, honestly.
I think we're all ready for Season 4. Except for
I
Matt.
wanna-
Matt needs to hit silver.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah, aside from
It's all
that, it's
good.
just been like busy work, and yeah.
We'll work on it. All right. Jimmy, what you been up to, Mr. Busy Man?
I've also been busy, but I've actually been managing to sneak in a couple of games here and there. Been playing a lot of Binding of Isaac lately. That's been the thing that I've been streaming a lot. What else? Bought and played the Stanley Parable. It's a pretty interesting game, if you could call it a game. It's an indie game, because it, excuse me, it's all about player agency if you read between the lines. But I mean, even if you're not into like those type of games, it has some pretty good dry English humor to get you going. What else have I been playing? League of Legends, obviously. I've been playing a little bit of that. And aside from that, King of Fighters and some Street Fighter. I've been playing some more of that lately too. So
I swear to God, every single time I see that name, Stanley, I keep seeing Parabola instead of Parable.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. If it's Parable.
It's parable.
It's Parable?
Yeah, it's Parable.
It is
I
absolutely
keep
parable.
reading it as Parabola. I don't know why.
Parabola is a different word.
Yeah,
I know.
parabola is a completely different
Yeah.
word. That is something you only need to worry about if you're an engineer or if you're a calculus student, to be quite honest.
I'm
Or
a
a mathematician.
pre-calc student.
It's a really good song, Anthony, so you should also look that up.
What, Parabola?
Parabola
Parabola.
by Tool. Look it up.
Fabula.
Parabola
Good
by Tool.
Yes.
Yep.
Check it out.
Also, shout outs to Jimmy, who's been streaming it again. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I've been trying to keep up a bit with streaming. I don't do it as consistently as Moose or a lot of people actually, but you know, there's something I'm gonna play. Might as well stream it.
But
I
you're
guess.
doing it. You're doing
Yeah.
it again. That's what matters.
I need to
Of course, we
stream.
got Matt, and Matt What have you been doing for the last 2 months? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, a couple weeks ago finished up my midterms, and so that was kind of just like drained everything. I was hardly ever at the store, and I wasn't playing any league at all or anything. But midterms ended, and the harrowing started, and I was really excited for that. So bought a bunch of skins, gave out a bunch of mystery gifts, got a bunch of mystery gifts. Got Toxic Mundo, which was really cool. Even though I never play Mundo, but I was like, oh cool, I got a legacy skin, so that's nice. Yeah, so trying to play ranked games, keep winning like 2 games and then losing 3 games, and then staying at 0 LP all the time, which is awesome. But yeah, so the store, I got my store's website set up, so that's in the description down here, and then I set up to stream, but I have not done that yet. I downloaded XSplit and got it all, my scenes set up and stuff, but I haven't streamed it all, so.
Alright, so we'll be working on a stream. We'll get that. We'll probably get a link of it down below on the description also when he's probably next podcast or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, myself, since y'all care so much.
I was gonna ask, but I didn't want to say anything.
No, I'm just kidding. But no, you know, I've been playing League. A lot of streaming. I had a race. I kind of raged out of Donkey Kong Country yesterday.
Oh God,
I saw
you
that.
made me rage. Holy crap!
I was so terrible. Oh my God. I've
No,
never...
you know your first mistake? It was letting that guy that kind of knew what he was doing race. Because comparing that guy with the other 2 guys, I was like, no, what is this, amateur hour? Come on.
Yeah.
But
Were you watching all 3 of them?
Yeah, I
Okay.
watched you with the multi-twitch, and that's why I was like, well, this isn't even a race with the other guy, because you and Fancy were kind of like neck and neck, except you fucking forgot to save, but it's like...
But yeah, no, we were pretty close. It's just, and then like I said, see, originally someone told us that he used to race it, but then he's like, oh, I haven't touched this in months, and we're just like, I guess we're okay.
No, you're not okay. If anybody... If anybody like even played Donkey Kong Country to completion, they would blow you guys out of the water. You guys, oh man, like
yeah, we were pretty terrible.
Yeah, you were pretty bad at it. But like again, like if it was just you two, it would have been fine. But
yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, so that happened. You know, League of course. God, I've been having a pretty terrible week. Last week I had a really good week of League. This week it's kind of meh. I'm gonna hit it hard. I got like 10 days left, if that, for the season.
You said that like
8.
2 weeks ago.
I said what?
You said I'm gonna hit the ranked hard. I'm like,
oh well, I have been kind of hitting it hard. I've been just kind of doing not so hot, but now I only got 8 days left, so I got to do it. Besides that, I've been playing a lot of Rogue Legacy. Dust is good. Oh my God, that game is really good. Besides, you know, being active, I've been, you know, playing sports, going out, hanging out with friends. So I've been pretty active.
having a life outside of your computer.
Yeah, I know. It's
No way.
crazy. And of course, doing some army stuff to help me from some good stuff. I'll make that announcement. I'll make an announcement about that probably in a couple weeks, but it's pretty big. And yeah, it's basically been it. Per big.
oh, Metal Gear.
Metal Gear, double kill.
Yeah, his Moose was secretly building Metal Gear all along. That was the
Metal Gear.
He also
Rex.
hasn't moved that Tide bottle nowhere.
That one, yeah, that one. Oh, so now someone finally makes a comment about it. Okay, asshole. Let's see how it is. But yeah, that's been it. So there's been a lot of stuff that's been going on these last 2 weeks. I think the first thing we want to talk about is basically the newest patch that we're playing on. What's your guys' like 3.13? What's how you guys think that's been going? What you guys been thinking about it?
So the thing that I got out of it is they addressed a lot of the big complaints about what's been going on with like Jinx and stuff. Jinx, Ahri, Zed, and basically the problem champions are kind of like the things that they addressed with this patch. I don't know if they hit them too hard, but they definitely addressed them. Or like my knee-jerk reactions out of that.
That's good. Okay. PF, what do you think the biggest change was like for you that affected you?
There's too much to go over.
Okay, so we'll just kind of go over all of it, I guess. Why not? Matt, do you have anything particular you want to talk about? Just your PF over there is all like, I'm neutral about life.
Hey. No, I'm just saying a lot of the champs that were affected by this patch, I all play, so they pretty much hit my poll entirely. So, yeah. And I am also a little bit neutral. So, my friend at school compared me to Sweden. Switzerland. Is it? Switzerland, yeah.
Yeah, Switzerland.
She called me passive aggressive.
You are
Passive aggressive. That's not the Swiss at all.
You're not very passive aggressive, PF. You're just very meh about everything.
Meh? Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
You should see me when I'm solo queuing, dude. Like, I go ham on that shit.
No, yeah, I mean, like, solo queue, that's like nothing, though. It's like, if you don't rage out of that, yeah, I think you're mentally, like, psychotic because you're too calm about things if you don't rage at least once
Well,
in solo
I
queue.
never rage in solo queue.
It's more like none of my opponents ever respect me in lane. They like.
So you wreck their face in?
I wreck their face in, yeah. Like
That's
when I'm
good.
playing with Sancho, like, oh, you think you could beat me? Nope. No respect.
Right on. So go ahead, Matt. We kind of cut you off a little bit.
Sorry.
The changes that I noticed, like the visual upgrades in general, which is cool, furthering themselves. Like Riot isn't just sitting around and kind of waiting for Dota or another game to dethrone them or anything like that. They, upgrading the gold thing, which has been the same, upgrading the gold sound, upgrading the level up animation, health pots animation, all that stuff. Just helps the game look a lot crisper moving forward, and it's not visual upgrades that's going to ostracize any people from their player base, which is good, because like sometimes the game will upgrade too much visually and they lose a bunch of their low-end players. But now that like they're making the small changes that really kind of make the game just look that much better and look that much more current when compared against the other games that are being streamed and stuff like that. Like Hearthstone's animations look a lot better in some cases than the animations that happen in League. So I'm glad they're trying to keep up with that. The other changes as far as it's all concerned, like the changes to the assassins is kind of interesting. Like playing bot lane, it's a little bit easier. Like your results that you can create early game translate more into late game because your AD carry isn't just going to get nuked. Like there's a lot less chances for him to die immediately in a team fight. So you feel like if you get ahead in lane bottom, that it actually is going to carry over to all the way up to their nexus and stuff like that. So I like that change. And then I guess the biggest change that isn't a gameplay change that I like is that they changed to the PvP client that they can disable in-game features on the fly, because they used to just have to take down ranked queues and stuff like that all the time, and that's not really a good way to grow the player base or grow your image as a really solid game with millions of players. So now that they can actually just fix stuff while the servers are still up is really nice. So that they can have that image of stability, and I think that's good. And it's just going to mean longevity for the life of League of Legends, which I think is something we're all about.
We're all about the longevity.
We won't have Riot Toast anymore.
Yeah, I'm actually extremely happy about the whole on-the-fly stuff. I know when the patch first came out, they I think it was Ari and Aatrox.
Yeah, it was those two.
Yeah, because Ari had some bug where her Q would hit twice, so twice on the way there, twice on the way back, and it was just broken as shit. So I'm really glad that they have that ability to do that, and just like the crisp changes that you're talking about, it just feels like, I wouldn't say a new game, but there's changes that like you can tell that they're working towards.
Something blew my mind when I was playing ranked one day. You know how when you destroy a turret, you saw like the little remnants of there on the minimap? It's not there anymore.
I haven't noticed that. I will definitely.
It is so trippy. I look on the map expecting like a little stump on there, and it's not there. It's just clear map. It's so weird.
You mean on the mini-map? Or
yeah,
like
on the mini-map.
map itself?
On the mini-map.
Okay.
It used to show a stump where the towers used to be, but now it's gone with the recent patch, and it's just tripping me.
I did not notice that.
Maybe that's just me being nitpicky, but...
Also, double check the chat really fast, guys, so you can see something. But, so yeah, that's basically the big changes. There's a few things that I wanted to talk about, of course, that they changed. Of course, getting a change, and I like it because she's less of like a bully just all the time, and she relies more on her charm, so it adds a lot more skill to her. But she still has that same burst when she lands the charm, which is really nice.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's very cool. Like charm, I think it's when she lands charm, their targets take 20% more damage for 6 seconds.
It gives her a pseudo DFG.
Yeah, exactly. So if you charm DFG charm nuke, that's like anybody dies to that. Like they have to.
Yes, I
Corky,
can assassinate people faster.
Corky got the small changes. They already kind of pushed that they're not changing Trinity Force, but they're changing the champions that are good with it. So Corky, they basically didn't really nerf any of his overall damage, but they got rid, except for his attack speed getting nerfed and slight damage change on his early game missile barrage. But they made it so the cooldowns were a little bit longer, so she can't just keep proccing Trinity Force, which is good.
Oh, this is so weird.
And my favorite change for my favorite champion. Oh man, so they finally released the Heimerdinger change, and oh my god, do I love it.
He's so bursty now.
So I think it's a little too good. I definitely feel like he needs to get nerfed. But
Really?
he still has but at the same time he has issues still because like a Riven mid, it's so hard to beat a Riven mid as Heimerdinger because Riven just has the ability of so much mobility that she can just jump in on you and you die as Heimerdinger. You have no way of stopping it really, and it's just really good. So any champion that can just kind of do that wrecks him. So like if a Zed jumps in on you and manages to burst you down really quick, you're done. But you have to have a lot of balls to do that at the same time because if you have any kind of hesitation, you're done. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
His new rockets, he fires 5 rockets at a location, and they spread out depending on how you click and whatnot, so you can hit multiple people. But like that does a lot of damage. Roughly, probably a little bit less than his old rockets, maybe a little bit more. I mean about the same or a little bit less. I can't really tell. But they're more of a skill shot now, and you don't really have to worry about hitting minions and whatnot.
You don't get the
Well,
BS rockets that hit you from like way through the lane.
do you remember his original rockets? His original rockets never even hit minions.
It's dumb. That's all I had to say. I'm glad they changed that when they did.
Then his grenade now is baller because it no longer goes at 1.5 miles per hour. It goes at like 15 miles per hour. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
You don't see the bullet coming at your face nearly as slow anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And just like the turrets, you're allowed to have 3 turrets at any level, and the only thing that maxing out ups the damage, of course, and how many turrets you can hold on you at one time, which is really nice. And then his ultimate. Oh god, his ultimate.
Upgrade.
So upgrade obviously lost the cooldown reduction on it, and his new Q just like it's his new turret that he places doesn't get added to your 3 turret max. It slows AOE and has the beam that has like fires that shoots faster than his the Q beams, and it's just ridiculous. His rocket swarm does it like I think it's like 3, 5, and then 865 damage, and has a 1.8 AP ratio if you hit with all 20 rockets, which is pretty tough, but not that tough to.
But they move so fast. How can you not hit like half those rockets?
Because the thing is, the moment you click, if they flash, tumble, do anything, you're kind of just done. It's like Lucian ult, where like the moment you miss the first one, you miss them all. And the moment you hit one, they can still flash and you miss the rest. So like it's still kind of iffy, but it's still like if they don't got any kind of tumble or anything like that, and you guys are on the same speed, like once you hit them, they can't get out of it, unless they flash, of course. But like that's basically it.
Okay.
And then his grenade. He throws it and it bounces 3 times. It goes, and each one has the stun, slow, and damage. And it doesn't do the most amount of damage, but in a team fight where you can stun like 5 targets with it, and it's in a straight line, it's pretty good.
I've never actually seen a Heimerdinger use that. They usually upgrade rocket because it's too good.
I feel like people like it. Like I said, whenever you're bursting down one person, upgrade rocket's really good. I definitely use the grenade the least, but in a team fight, it's got so much utility, Oh my god, and it does like 400 damage with like a 0.8 AP ratio or something. So like it still does a
0.6.
lot of damage. 0.6.
Yeah.
0.6. Yes, 0.6. Thank you. And it's just really dumb.
Got your
It's
back.
really,
Got your back.
you got me. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
And of course, they had a few other changes. Jimmy, you were talking about the Jinx, right? Like,
I was talking about the Jinx. They nerfed Jinx. Let me look up the actual nerf right there. But they essentially nerfed her early game is the huge crux of what they did. Because in the patch preview video that they released, they were like, yeah, her early game was pretty dumb. That was bad on us. So they tuned down her zap, if I recall correctly. Let me do a Control F search on that.
Control F search.
There we go. Okay, so the minigun was the switcheroo minigun attack speed bonus has been reduced at early ranks, and her zap base damage was reduced too. So basically, they just took away a lot of her DPS early on, which I mean was needed. Jinx was not in particularly good position before this patch hit, because I mean you could just do a lot of damage without the opponent being able to retaliate against that. So
Like zapping them from across the lane. Yeah, that's God. It's so dumb.
yeah, and I mean, like, if you think about it, there was a little bit of counterplay there because zap isn't exactly the fastest thing in the world, but it was still.
But in the right hands, people will like figure out where you're gonna be moving. So
Exactly. So, like, I mean, there's going to be positions where, like, you're not going to be able to, like, move out of the way.
like against the wall or
The
something
other
like
thing.
that.
Yeah. The big change that I was actually really psyched about, Jinx I was kind of psyched about, like, not getting those nerfs, but I was actually really excited about the Sivir changes, aside from the visual update. Because, like, now she feels a lot more responsive to it. She takes a little bit more of getting used to if you played Sivir before, but I think that she feels way better, and it was a slight buff to her as well, the changes that they did.
I definitely feel like there was a buff for her. Like, I played her a few times. Like, her Q is exactly the same, and her Q is always really strong. Her Ricochet is just, like, better. Like,
She's
just
so
overall
mana hungry though.
Mhm. She
I know-
is mana.
But her spell, she'll cost 0 mana now, and it's like... the reason why is, like, if she wasn't mana hungry, like, in lane, she'd be kind of dumb. Like,
Yeah.
because what you do is, like, you can lane against anybody as a Sivir, and you just run up to them, and you're like, come at me. You hit them, come at me, and the moment you see them do anything, spell shield, oh, thank you, walk out. And it's just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it
True
also opens up a couple of interesting strategies because you're only really mana hungry if you spam Q a lot, which I mean, as Sivir you kind of want to do because that's your bread and butter. You just throw at it and whack a dude with it, and like you chunk them at anything higher than a level 2 Q. But like it opens up the possibility of you like, okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna like go mana hungry with Q. I may just go level up Ricochet and just go for that fast wave clear right there. And it does open up with that. Open that strategy up. I don't know if it's still a valid strategy. I want to test it out myself to see if it's something that may be useful for Sivir.
Sivir.
A few changes, like the Cassin got small nerfs also. Oh, the nerfs is like Null Sphere and his Rift. His Rift Walk got like kind of a buff, but his Null Sphere got a nerf. They upped the silence on it at level 1, which is really nice. I felt like it really needed that. And they lowered the mana cost on it also, so he's a little less mana hungry. And yeah, so they dropped it by I think 6. Late game, like early game is still the same, but it only gains 35 a level instead of before where it gained 50. So it's kind of big.
Ew.
Yeah, and his Rift Lock now is the base damage was increased from 60, 70, 80 to like 80, 100, 120. And the base damage per Rift Walk stack reduced. So, it punishes you like before the skill people would like max up Rift Walk and then Rift Walk in once and like do hit hard. But like the big changes is you get refunded 50% of the mana when you hit someone with a Rift Walk.
That what? No way.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you hit a champion with Rift Walk, it is like dumb.
That's so
And-
BS.
like every stack now goes 50, 55, 60 instead of 60, 70, 80, but the stacks also get an additional 0.1 ability power. 5 stacks, that means it adds an extra 0.5 ability power to that too. So Riftwalk got an overall buff, while Nullsphere got a nerf. So they're once again just nerfing kind of like... His late game was kind of too ridiculous with Nullsphere because of how easy it was to land it, so they're working on that, which is nice. And then Morgana got like a dank. I gotta say dank.
Dank?
Dank.
What?
Dank.
I don't
That doesn't
understand
make
what that
sense,
means.
Moose.
You guys never heard that?
No, I've never heard
I've
of
heard
that.
of something
Me
being
neither.
very dank, but you have to like kind of preface
her
that
changes,
with like why
her
it's so
changes,
dank.
her change is dank. Like
Dank?
dank is like dank
Yo,
is
dog,
like
you have to
badass.
explain why it's so
I'm
dank.
about
Man.
to
You just can't
change
leave me
them. I'm about
hanging
to-
like that.
I'm about to explain them, but like I'm trying to explain to PF what dank means because like I didn't really know much of this word until I got to Hawaii and I met some of these army people. Like the people I've been hanging out with, they don't use the word cool, they don't use the word badass. They say dank. That shit's dank, and it's just like whoa,
Is it dank like with a D or with a B?
Wait,
dank.
Dank.
dank
D-A-N-K.
means cool over in Hawaii?
No, it's just these guys from wherever they're from. Dank means like badass. Like
The fuck is like when I hear dank, it's like since it rhymes with jank, that's like no, that's all messed up, man. That's all
no,
stuttery. That's all.
dank is like good, badass, like baller. I don't know.
Hawaiians are weird.
It's not a Hawaii thing though. It's wherever these guys are from. I don't even know, like East Coast or something. Whatever. All I know is they've been saying it, so I had to say it. And I was just wanted to see if you guys knew what the word was, and obviously not. Fuck,
No way.
fuck Arizona
Obviously,
people
because
don't know
we're
what
all
this
on the
shit
west
means.
side.
But so her attack range got increased by 25 instead of 425, it's 450 now. Her attack speed got increased, and her basic attacks like are more responsive. So like when you auto attack something, it's gonna go off faster and whatnot. And like they don't really change a whole lot on her, but like the thing that they changed is like so good. The tormented soil, like already what I just said is like insane for her in lane because her auto attacks were so bad before, it was just stupid. But they changed the damage to 24, 38, 52, 66, 80 from 25, 40, 55, 70. So they lost 5 damage overall, like late game. But Tormented Soul's damage is now increased by up to 50% based on enemy missing health. Dank.
Is that the damage it does when it comes out, or the damage it does every tick, or both?
Well, the way it works is the moment you put it out, it does 1 tick of damage, and then
Okay.
every second from there it does another tick. Based off whatever their health is, if they're whatever 50% of their health is added every second, every tick.
Ew. So if she hits a binding, you're going to get wrecked.
Yeah, I guess she just puts
Yeah.
that on you, and then the first tick will do however much damage, and
course,
then if she's auto-attacking you too, then your health will go down,
Yeah.
and then the second tick will do more, and yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so it no longer applies the magic resist debuff that it used to do, but it now goes off every half a second instead of a second. So I don't know.
I don't know. That seems
It
pretty
does double
good.
the damage essentially.
They buffed a lot of mids.
It does. They're buffing your
Non-assassin
mids.
mids. Yeah.
Yes, because like the fact that her tormented soil now goes off every half a second instead of second, that means it does double the ticks, double the power, double the kills.
It also
Yeah.
means that she clears waves a lot faster.
Yes. So I definitely need to start playing her a little more mid because I think it's pretty good.
I want to learn how to play Ziggs mid.
Yo, I almost got wrecked. I got wrecked technically by a Ziggs mid.
Was that today? Or is that...
Yeah. Well, like I was 8-0, but he also had like 30 CS on me, so it was kind of bad.
bad?
And he proceeded to continue to farm, and I proceeded to continue to try to get kills. He did better than I did, got more CS, did better in team fights. He won the game. I didn't. It was pretty bad.
Failure.
Oh, so I didn't really realize they buffed Ziggs this patch.
They changed his satchel charge, I thought.
And they upped his damage to minions over the overall, which was like a downside.
Yeah,
Mega Inferno Bomb.
that's his
Yeah,
ultimate. Then
basically,
Hex-
his E and his R don't do reduced damage to minions anymore. They do full damage, which is pretty cool.
and they upped the radius on his
Satchel charge.
On both the satchel charge and the explosives, the mimes, because like it'll hit more essentially. His minion clear is insane now.
And then they made his passive better late game, and then they made it so his bouncing bomb is like, it makes more sense because it's kind of like how Karthus's Q used to be. Like, if you cast it out of range, it wouldn't work at all. Like, it would just it would either not cast or it would cast and it wouldn't do anything or something like that. So like they were like, well, if you target out of range with bouncing bomb, it'll just go towards your cursor, which makes sense. So yeah, I think he's good. I think he's good now. And yeah, and his satchel charge is like a mini Drag Assault now. Like, it's huge.
Wait, mini what?
Drag Assault.
Okay.
And then, yeah, of course, Zyra got changed. Basically, they nerfed all her base damages and upped her AP ratio, so she's a little better mid, a little worse support. Nothing really too crazy there. I kind of like it, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, you play Zyra mid.
I feel like you still need like 400 AP to do more damage than the base, so it's kind of dumb. It's not really that nice, but I think it's an overall nerf to her early game. So, not too bad. But then, of course, a bunch of little small changes to all the other champions, and nobody really cares about.
I care about the Jarvan the fourth one, dude.
That one's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Huge.
That
I
is
haven't
like
seen
a
anybody
huge
play
Oh,
nerf.
yeah. That was okay. You're right. The knockup collision got dropped by like 80 from 260 to 180. That is pretty big. You're right.
I can't turn immediately on carries when I'm playing top Jarvan anymore and nuke the shit out of them.
Yeah, I mean,
Yo,
it just.
I thought you played top Jarvan after the nerf.
No.
It wasn't?
Wait, did I?
Oh,
I don't know, I
it
don't
was
know.
the day the servers were going down. It was the day of the servers.
Yeah, it was the
going
day that the server's going down.
That's right.
When
okay.
I nuked like 3 carries.
And then they dropped mana costs on ultimates for Ashley, Leona, Soraka, Varus, and Victor, which were really needed and really good.
Yeah.
They do something about Victor's ultimate.
Yeah. I think a big change was to the Twisted Tree Line, some items for Twisted Tree Line and Howling Scar, which I know most of you guys don't play much, but I've been really in the Dominion community. Shoutouts to Dominate Dominion. So they nerfed Grez's Lantern and Hextech Sweeper. Fuck you, Jimmy. So there's still really good items. They're still being built left and right, but they're not as ridiculous as they used to be. So they just kind of nerfed them.
But isn't that like the foundation of Crystal Scar?
Not really. Cause they also they got rid of the movement speed on Sweeper, which was kind of needed, but they upped the other stats and upped the price a little bit. But they moved the movement speed up to Blackfire Torch.
Okay.
So it was which every AP builds Blackfire Torch also, so it's not like that big of a change. Twin Shadows got buffed, and yeah, that's basically like all the main changes here. Like I don't want to go too much into the items.
Yeah.
But
Speaking
pretty
of
good stuff.
items. Trinkets?
Season 4 changes?
Season 4 changes? Transition?
Slightly forced segue. I'll give you a 6 out of 10 on that one.
Hey,
Alright,
hey.
Since you want to talk about these trinkets, what you got?
I mean, I don't play support. I ain't got shit on this.
Oh,
Dude.
you gotta bring up the trinkets, yet you don't know what the trinkets do.
I don't know about
OMG, worst segue. Gotta bump you down to 4 out of 10. Come on.
Yeah.
Up your game. Up your game.
Transitions is not my job.
Well, okay, it's not my job. I'll just transition myself, though. It's not my job, though, so when I screw it up, I'm like, nope, not my job.
Hey guys, I'm gonna do this big transition. It sucks. It's not my job though. It ain't my job.
Whatever. Season 4 changes.
All right. So before we get into trinkets, we have to like set that up with like the whole support changes, because I mean like we have to talk about the vision changes in general before we actually talk about the specific trinket changes. I mean,
Unless people didn't know, vision is OP.
Vision wins games. Yeah.
I thought it was teamwork that wins games.
Well,
yeah, teamwork wins games, but you can't have teamwork without vision.
Yeah, it severely limits your ability to be like, yo, we're going to team fight, and then the enemy just flanks you out of nowhere because guess what? Your top jungle was dark. So. But, yeah, they're changing vision a lot for next season. They want to distribute the duties to, like, have vision all over the map, not just to the support, but to everybody in general. So, to this end, you can no longer buy all the wards in the world. Depending on, depending on what you have, I think the most amount of wards any person can have is 3.
Yeah, it's 3.
It's
Yeah,
3,
three on the
including
map
the
at one
trinket?
point. You can have more in your inventory.
Yeah, you can have you can have 3 on the map.
Yeah, because the way that I understood it is, as long as you could still have what's that item's name? The one that built off of a ruby
Sightstone.
crystal. Yeah, you could still have a sightstone. You could still have like a ward, I think. Not sure, but whatever. You could have more wards in your inventory than you lay it down on the map, but at any time, at any one point, you can only have up to 3 wards on the map. And that is to just make it so that the support is just not a gold sink for all the vision that the team is going to use. Because that's the one thing as a support player that eventually happens. It's like, all right, I got my boots, got my sightstone, I got my philo stone. All of the gold in the world will go into the wards, unless I accidentally get a kill or secure a kill. So.
And then your teammates were like, why aren't you
But
doing
then all
wards?
the money in the world goes to wards and a oracles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oracles, that's right.
So you can get more money to buy more wards and more oracles and the life of support.
So
Yeah,
what do the vision changes mean for like everybody else? Is kind of like the question I guess I have. Like, does this mean longer games? Does this mean shorter games because the vision's less good? Like, I'm wondering what this means. Like A at an LCS level and B at like a bronze level. Like, where do these changes?
So
Okay,
so like bronze level, like okay, I'm gonna start with like the LCS. I feel like more games will be happening, more opportunities will be happening. Less, I feel like games might last longer, but at the same time, like it depends. It depends on how successful everything is. Because like bot lane, all you really need is 3 wards in all reality to safely secure bot lane. And if everybody and obviously the laning phase shouldn't change much.
Right.
But it's the late game that should change.
Yeah.
And so late game, when everybody's buying more wards, it's going to slow down their builds. So I'm thinking games might last a little bit longer because of that. But at the same time, it depends how greedy people get. Maybe you want to avoid getting a few wards.
It depends on how good one of the trinkets that Leon was alluding to is, which is the scope, the mini clairvoyance. It depends on the numbers on that. If you can like use that repeatedly over and over, then maybe it won't be as drastic of a change as it could, like as it would normally be without like that type of vision. But if you can repeatedly use the scope over and over, it might give people more opportunities to do the Baron dance, where it's like, all right, let's check out like the place behind Baron, and if nobody's there, let's do it, or something like that.
Okay, so you can have 3 sight wards down, and 1 vision. So you can have a total of 4 on the map actually.
Okay.
But vision wards are visible now, but they have 5 health.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that change.
Yeah. And the cost was reduced to 75 gold.
I still don't think that's cheap enough. I think they'd have to cost like 50 gold or something like that if they're going to be able to die, like to other people just being able to see them. Like, I don't think it's...
the other change that goes in conjunction with that is the fact that oracles is not going to be on the map. So, with the current changes, so that's going to be the only way you can get rid of those green wards. So.
Exactly. And something to think about is 75 gold to get rid of another 75 gold item. And it's giving you 20 gold back, right?
I thought it was 30 now.
30 gold, yeah, 30 gold back. So, like, essentially you're paying 40 gold or 45 gold for this vision that they have to smack 5 times before it's gone. You know what I mean? That gives you so much time to get in there and get to push them out, get a kill. If they drop another ward to do it, you can just kill that ward also. Like, there's just so much to do. I think 75 is a good amount. I think anything cheaper than that would be kind of OP. I don't know. That might be my but so I'll go ahead.
Yeah, like I mean the gold change, like the numbers on the gold will change too, like depending on how people react to all this. Like I mean, if they make it higher because there's only one way to eliminate the wards, that might be an option that they go for. Because I mean, again,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, again, like if that's the only way to kill green wards, that's gonna be like you have to incentivize that sort of play. So.
Exactly. Something to keep in mind also is supports are going to start making more gold. One of the biggest changes is supports don't make any gold in lane. So how do you get them gold? So they released this item. It's called a Philosopher's Pebble. It gives 5 health regen, 3 mana regen, unique passive, harvest, grants 2 gold each time a nearby minion dies that you didn't kill. Seems pretty good. You're limited to 1 gold income item, though, in your inventory, which means I think if you get that, you're not allowed to get Philosopher's Stone. So, that's...
Yeah, they did limit the gold per 5 items to be just 1 per character. So if you have a... like, I saw this in action in Trick to G's stream of all people. But, like, he had an Avarice Blade, and he couldn't get another Avarice Blade as a result of that. Or I think he just couldn't stack those things, so he had to like go from like one item straight to the other. So yeah, you can only have 5 per gold item.
Now, quick question: does the pebble build into the stone, or does it stay as a pebble?
To say that.
Okay.
I have yet to state what it builds into, what it builds out of. It costs 365 gold though.
So starting items, or is it? Do you think the whole like?
It's the starting item.
Okay.
Well, supporters start with what, 5 something or 4? Right?
525.
525 if you have, of course. So you can get a pebble and a couple wards. So yeah, probably start.
I would be very careful about saying that you're going to start with 525 because they're also going to do mastery changes. So
yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're right. So they could change that.
Yeah.
Well then, so the trinkets. Do you guys know what they're doing with those yet, or?
Well, I mean, I basically gave the broad overview. The trinkets are essentially going to be like either an extra like green ward, I think, and the pink ward.
What I was gonna say is like they've released the stuff on the PBE, and of course this stuff isn't official yet and whatnot, but like the numbers that they've released is you get a 7th item slot, which is only for trinkets, which that's already confirmed.
Okay.
And they added 3 vision relics, which is the warding totem, scrying orb, and sweeping lens. And you have to choose which one you want. And I think they're like 180 gold or something. I don't quote me on that, of course.
Are you sure I was under the impression that the trinkets don't cost anything, but there's a cooldown as to like the amount of times.
Oh, is that how it works? Okay.
That's the impression I have. So.
Okay, maybe they are free, but one of them is of course the ward, and it drops a 60-second ward with a 120-second cooldown.
That seems pretty good.
It's an explorer ward essentially. It's great for if you just want quick tactical vision. So. And
with the 2-minute cooldown, that's not too bad, I guess. Scrying orb reveals a location within 1100 range for 1 second and has a 150-second cooldown. I think they might need to up the range on it maybe to make it worth it a little bit. I don't know.
It'll be useful if you're like in the Baron pit and you want to see like if there's anybody behind that thing, or in the Dragon pit as well. Aside from that, like again, it has tactical uses where it's like, all right, I need to see if there's anybody trying to ambush me in the bush, but like I mean, yeah, the range might need a little bit of tweaking, but it seems.
And then sweeping lens is read off right now. Disables and reveals any nearby hidden wards, traps, or devices for 4 seconds. 180-second cooldown.
That's the other way that you can kill wards. I forgot all about that item.
Yes. So, but like it says disables. Does that mean the moment you pop it, their ward is no longer good?
Yeah, it's no longer good.
That's
it'll cease operating throughout that duration. Once it goes away, it'll come back up if you didn't kill it. So.
Okay, it's not bad.
Huh.
And these items upgrade at level 9.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so like they just automatically do it once you buy it, or do we know if they're for free or not?
They're free.
We don't know that.
We don't know that yet, or do we?
We do know that.
Okay.
Well, right now they're free. Again, this can all change, but right now they're free.
Then
they're free and they can be swapped out at any time.
These items will upgrade at level 9, so the ward gets 120-second ward for 120-second cooldown. So that means it's basically a what is that item called? The jungle item that gives a free ward.
Wriggles.
Wriggles. It's basically like a Wriggles. The greater orb, the range to cast gets increased to 2,000, which is perfect actually. That was my issue with it, and now that's fixed. And the sweeper area of effect is increased by 100%.
Do the trinkets upgrade at 9 or 10?
9.
Oh, so they changed that then.
Yeah, of course, it's still not official. It's still guaranteed. That's just what they're playing with right now, and that can change, of course. These items can be upgraded again at the shop for a total of 475 gold. And you get a Greater Stealth Ward, which is a 3-minute ward, 180 seconds with a 3-minute cooldown. Places a Vision Ward for 100 with 180-second cooldown.
So real ward.
Yeah. No, Vision Ward is the invisible, the pink ones.
Wait, what?
So it won't be.
Oh,
This is
right.
like Stealth
Yeah,
Ward
stealth
for
wards. Yeah, they
or then
changed
you
it.
can, or you can get it to place a Vision Ward.
Yeah, they changed the names. Vision wards are real wards now.
Yeah. Yeah. Then Farsight Orb, cast range increased to 2500, and Oracle's Lens additionally grants True Sight for 10 seconds after activation, 90 second, and it gets reduced to a 90-second cooldown. It's really good.
Very interesting.
So a lot of things getting changed with the support. I don't know. I don't know what I feel like it's really good. I feel like I'm really glad that they're changing this because, like I said, Vision was just kind of OP.
Yeah, and if we're like to look at the other MOBAs out there, like Dota 2 and Dawngate are the two that come immediately to mind. Those have limitations on wards. You can't have more than 2 wards. You can buy 2 wards out of the gate in Dota 2, and then there's they restock it after so many seconds. In Dawngate, everybody has 1 ward, and you can't buy them. So, those 2 games had to limit wards, just given the problems that happens when you just have unlimited vision like that. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for these changes too. So.
Let's see. They're also changing something different, and I don't think any of us. I think I'm the closest person to be in this role, and that's the jungle.
Yeah.
This doesn't affect me whatsoever.
That must be nice.
I mean, I'm a mid player, so we don't want Jimmy to play jungle. We all know this.
Yeah.
What-
I'll play jungle.
Have you
You
guys-
just don't want me there.
Have you guys read at all about it? Because I'll let you guys talk about it, and I'll kind of give my thoughts on it at the end.
I haven't read enough on it.
I hate you all so
they're
much.
They're adding the new camp. Minions are spawning earlier overall, both the minions in lanes and the minions in jungle. So that's good. Yeah, I mean, they're trying to eliminate level 1, and I think that's kind of important for a jungler too, is the fact you can kind of focus on your level 2 or 3 gank, and you don't have to worry as much about what's going to happen at level 1, as far as invades and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the thing that I got out of it, and I'm not going to go into specifics, but the thing that Riot is trying to do is they're trying to make it so that more types of junglers are viable, like the carry jungler, the mythical carry jungler that nobody has seen since Season 1.
Yeah.
They're trying to bring that back. They made Smite, the cooldown on Smite lower, but it also does less damage, so you have that
But
going
it does
on.
the same amount of damage late game. At level 18, it does the same damage.
Yeah, and I mean, me being the cynical person I am, I'm like, I will believe that when you show it to me. I don't think that unless you do something really crazy with the gold stuff and the items, which some of the items look promising. I just don't know if you can have the mythical carry jungler out of nowhere. They have to do some pretty crazy stuff, which they might just do this season, 4th season, but they've tried doing that 2nd season. They tried doing that 3rd season, and they didn't pull it off. So.
Just more tweaking, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I
Seeing
think carry
how it
junglers
affects.
come back.
Really?
I'm making the call. Carry junglers come back.
LCS level or just bronze level? What are you talking about?
LCS level.
LCS level carry junglers.
By carry jungles, do you mean like
Master Yi.
makes sense?
Because Master Yi is already good, but he's very situational. We can only pick him into certain comps. I feel like junglers Nocturne will be able to start building more damage again. Who else is a really good carry jungler? Give me a second, I apologize.
It used to be GP used to be a good carry jungler back in the day. I don't know if he's good with his kit now.
No, probably not right now.
Tryndamere is another one.
Trin will probably come back.
Jinx.
Dude, Jinx is a thing.
Her base damage got nerfed a little too hard, maybe.
Yeah.
So. like her early base stuff. So maybe
I
not.
want Skarner to come back. I don't think he will.
He's gonna remake. They're tweaking his kit. So like I mean,
Warwick's gonna be the best jungle season 4. I'm not calling it now.
Not calling it.
Riven might be playable again. Nocturne, in my opinion, Nocturne is going to be the best jungler in Season 4 with these changes.
Because he gets to build damage.
Yeah.
Which he enjoys a lot.
Yeah, he does. Enjoys it too much.
You get to charge people with your toothpaste.
Is they're giving jungle creeps a level now, and the level's based off the average level of everybody in the game. And they have that level from when they spawn. So if you like don't kill that mob for a while, it'll keep that level until you kill it, and then it'll spawn with a new level. That's pretty cool, I think, because their level determines their XP, their gold, their health, and damage.
Damage.
And,
So
and
basically
the
they
weight,
scale.
the white or whatever. Yeah, they scale, exactly. They scale more than they do now, I should say. The white or whatever is going to be near blue and wolves. So I want to know where they're going to add that. That's really weird for me.
Blue and wolves.
Yeah, and the cooldown reduction on blue buff got nerfed to 10% instead of 20. All monsters got increased, but their damage but their gold got reduced. Kind of weird.
Weird.
But I think it's kind of makes sense. Their experience got nerfed a little bit, unless they changed that recently. But their experience on the golems got nerfed. I don't really. Let me look that up, see if that's still going on, or maybe it's not happening anymore. I don't know. They originally were talking about that, so I know. Like a lot of the all the jungle items now gave you more gold for killing creeps, which is really cool. Like Wriggles gives you increase 40% gold when you kill a monster. All the Spirit Elders, Ancient Golem, and Spectral Rates, or actually it's champion kills. So like the Spectral Wraith has killing Bounty Hunter, champion kills, assists, epic monsters grant 30 gold and 10 gold from large monsters, or grant 30 gold, and anytime you kill a large monster you get 10 gold. Ancient Golem, gain a stack of conservation every 1.5 seconds. Lose conservation stacks. Wait. Everybody. Oh, wow. I'm sorry. Am I really that bad? Wow, that's terrible. Lose conservation stacks and gain gold equal to whenever you kill a large monster, equal to the amount of stacks. Maximum of 30 stacks. So you get 30 gold every 45 seconds. Elder got champion kills and assists, grant 30 gold, and then 10 for killing a large monster. Same thing. I think Wriggles Lanterns obviously has the best gold farm increase, so a lot more carry junglers will be building Wriggles.
Carry jungles, whoop whoop. Even though this doesn't affect me very much, but junglers were hurt now, basically.
It affects you a lot. It affects you a lot, PF.
Yeah, junglers. And did you mention the whole... Never mind. I'll let you talk about that.
The whole what?
The breast changes.
Oh, that was next, PF. Oh, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's why I was asking.
Transition King over here.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, that's basically like the big changes with support and jungle. That's basically what they've been talking about. They really want more gold to come out. Something I wanted to talk about before that is Banner of Command's getting buffed.
Wait,
Is
what?
it?
Yeah, now it costs 2,400 gold, so it's 40 more gold. Now grants 80 ability power, up from 40. Now grants 20% cooldown reduction, up from 10. No longer grants 30 armor, no longer grants that. But to me, that's a big buff, because you can now build that on AP carries and push lanes.
Like a bot.
Yes!
Oh, man.
Doran's Blade is dropping 35 gold, so it's only 440, but now it only grants 8 AD and heals only for 3 instead of 5. Oh, I'm sorry, 3 for ranged champions, 5 for melee. So the melee keeps the same, except it's only 8 AD from 10, but it's 35 gold cheaper, meaning you can buy a pot. And that's pretty big.
Yeah.
That's also going to help out the carry jungler thing, because you can still play like Aatrox jungle and get a Doran's Blade and a pot, and then you just like are intensely insane.
Exactly.
Intensely OP like
Kaga's lucky
Aatroxers.
pick got changed. It's 20 AP, 7 mana regen every 10 per 10, 4 gold per 10, Spells and basic attacks against champions grant 8 gold up to once every 10 seconds. Per enemy killing a minion disables this passive for 10 seconds. So don't kill minions, hit champions, make more money.
Yes.
Kage's lucky pick. Yes.
2013.
So,
Is it Kage's
so
or
that's
Cage's?
I've always called it Kage's, but
I've
That was
heard
pronounced cages.
the announcers call it cages, but I mean, if you spell cage with a K, God,
It's like cat.
there are worse problems.
I call it Kage because one of my buddies in the melee, his name is Kage. Shout outs to Kage, and he's like a godlike. He's really good. He's good at Ganon, and he spells Kage, so Kage. So
There you go.
overall, things are getting better. Lockets increased 50 gold. Longsword is decreased 40 gold. Lord Van Demir's Pillager, which I have no idea what that is, but I'll get to you in a second. That's cheaper. They're trying to make Manamune better on Crystal Scar, cheaper. Only on Crystal Scar. Mikhail's Crucible's billion times cheaper. But it no longer grants health regen, and now only grants more mana regen.
Okay.
Maybe like a first item now.
Yeah, it regenerates 12 per 5 mana regen down from 18, but it only costs 1600 instead of 2500. Wrecker is only 2000, no longer grants health regen, no longer grants mana regen. What? I
That
feel
doesn't
like
make.
that's not done.
What?
I feel like that's no longer done. Phage got dropped again by 25 golds. All this stuff is getting changed. Trelia's Reverie is cheaper, but it no longer grants cooldown, or now grants 20% cooldown.
Ugh.
Now grants 15 mana regen, 2 gold per 10 seconds. No longer grants 250 health. Grants 4 gold every time a nearby minion dies that you didn't kill. So I'm thinking Shiralia's is gonna build out of that one
Pebble?
item I was speaking,
Pebble?
and Pebble and something, and maybe also Philostone. I don't know. That seems kind of bad, but it's only 1850 now.
It still has to build out of something like Kindle Gem or something.
Yeah,
because of the
held item.
cooldown.
No, because it doesn't grant health anymore. It no longer grants 250 health.
Oh, does the Pebble grant cooldown?
What was that?
Does the Pebble give cooldown?
What do you mean give cooldown? No, it doesn't give cooldown reduction. So it has to
So
give
does
something
it- So does
So-
it just grant cooldown just by itself, or?
Now it grants 20% cooldown reduction. Maybe that's what it is. You paid the extra gold for the cooldown reduction, and maybe it's just an upgrade from the Pebble.
Maybe.
Like, there's a
Maybe.
lot of different things. Of course, we can't really too much here. Brutalizer's cheaper. It's no longer a lead item anymore, guy.
What?
Brutalizer's 1257. But then it says in the patch notes, yes, it's no longer the lead item anymore.
Oh, the reason why it's the elite item was because
it's
Yeah, 13.
1337.
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
These things I
I
don't
know.
get.
So, PF, you're bad at this.
I'm okay. Sorry. I'm sorry.
So I think my favorite patch, I really hope that this is something that transfers in from these, of course, these PvE patches, which aren't set in stone, but you can get a idea of what they're coming with. And that is the changes to Stoke-Fort. And I really like them because it makes me a happy, happy person. So Raka and Tarek are going to be godlike.
Because
Because it's going to be godlike. But before I do that, yay for yellow health bars for me. Damn it. But so Soraka does base health increased to 405 from 375, health per level increased, base armor increased. Her new passive is Salvation. Soraka's health and mana restores abilities are 1% more effective for each 2% health. Okay. Soraka's health and mana restoring abilities are increased by 1% for every 2% health or mana the target's missing. So the weaker the person you're hitting is, the more it heals or gives mana back. Pretty good.
Pretty
Star
good.
Call, the magic resistance reduction changed to 6 at all levels with a 0.01 AP ratio, and it used to be 8 to 12 depending on how you max it out. Mana cost changed from 30 to 70, from 20 to 80, so it's a little bit more early game, a little bit less late game. If Star Call hits at least one enemy champion, Astral's Blessing, which is your heal, is reduced by 5, 6.25, 7.5, 8.75, 10%. So hitting with Qs is really important because it gives back it lowers the cooldown on your heal, which is insanely long. You know, hitting someone with a Q, dropping it by 5% time you hit them with the Q is insane. That's really good. Health reduced. The healing reduced on Astral Blessing was done from 70 to 270, from 70 to 375, or 350. I'm sorry, with a 0.35 AP ratio. God damn it! I'm sorry, I echo really badly. I don't know what's going on. I'll definitely fix it. It's this new Google Plus thing that changed. The armor duration reduced to 2 seconds from 3 seconds. Armor grants now scales with AP ratio with the 0.15, and the base armor change, it used to be 25 to 105, and now it's 50 to 110. Early game is going to be so dumb at Soraka. Lowered mana cost, of course, 80 to 160 from 80 to 200. Infuse, no longer can be cast on enemies that don't have mana. It now heals, it now donates 5% of Soraka's maximum mana, which is kind of dumb, but whatever. And the mana itself is lowered by a little bit. It has an AP ratio when you hit enemies, and it also hits the enemies for 5% of Soraka's max mana.
So the one thing, like, if I could interject something, is like I would be very skeptical about any numbers right now.
Oh, you're right. I gotta stop giving numbers. You're very right.
Because I mean, like, the important things to remember though are like the ratios, like things that have ratios now that didn't, and what those kind of indicate of where they're going. Like actual numbers right now are really not something that.
Basically, you can kind of take what I'm saying to just do it, but don't take the numbers exactly. Like her Q Star Call will probably still lower the cooldown reduction or the cooldown on Astral Blessing, but the number itself you can't really assume.
Exactly.
Like Wish, the healing was reduced by a small amount, but it had a smaller AP ratio on it, so it's just like it's gonna be slightly weaker, but it now affects targets that are untargetable, which is nice. Tarek's getting overall buffed. His new passive, basically, is going to deal damage based off his magic-resistant armor. Pretty good. His old passive is now added to his heal, his Q. It got lowered. Basically, overall it's going to get lowered, but it's going to be stronger based off 5% of his bonus health. Or potentially different number, but roughly. Shatter, I'm sorry, got increased. Lowered base damage, increased AP ratio. Armor ratio got increased also. Dazzle, cooldown increased, AP ratio lowered. Radiance, AP ratio lowered. Cooldown increased. So like to me, he's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good.
May I just ask where you're finding all this? Cause I
posted it, you son of a. You learn.
I can't find it. I'm sorry.
Check the chat.
I thought this was all on NASA's, not.
Oh my God, PF. PF, if you want to speak to about another champ, you're more than welcome to. I'm gonna be right back. You guys can feel some dead air or something.
Some dead air?
We should just totally remain silent and just blame Moose for all this.
Yes. I still can't find all the stuff that you were talking about.
You have to scroll way down. Moose did not do a very good job of explaining what exactly we're supposed to get out of this. This is about the time when I'm gonna just throw Moose under the bus right here. So.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm throwing Moose under the bus because it's like, we're gonna talk about all this. What exactly do you want to talk about? All of it.
All of it.
Everything.
Everything. I still can't find the Soraka stuff.
The Soraka stuff, do a Control F search. You'll get there eventually.
Oh, God.
But like I was saying though, I haven't been looking at the exact changes simply because a lot of this could change. But the thing that Riot wants to do with these changes is to have, with the new gold that supports will be getting, they want supports to scale up with the as the game progresses, they want the supports to scale up with that, with the new influx of gold they're going to be receiving. So even some of the changes that they have right now with well, he scales off of armor. Well, they might scale off of AP. We don't really know if that's really what they're going to scale off of, or if that effect is going to keep on scaling. Because I mean, because we don't know how much gold they're really going to get and stuff like that. So that's why I'm still kind of skeptical as far as actually following the exact sort of the scaling that these abilities have right now, because we really don't know.
Just the very specific numbers that.
No, I agree.
We have. This is all subjected to
like
change.
Exactly. Oh, they're finally changing Janna's passive though. That's good. And now it just has a range. like an AoE range.
Oh, it's not global anymore?
It's not global, it's just range, but they increase the movement speed potentially, or they should.
Which is really dumb, because I thought that the really cool idea that they had with Tailwind was do like a, what is it, Mario Kart Wii sort of thing, where it's like she leaves like a trail that, like, Galio style, where you could like just follow her and like get a movement speed boost like that. Kind of like a Tailwind from like a freaking car or something. Like, I thought that would have been a neat idea,
but that wouldn't have been good enough, I don't think.
It depends on the movement speed boost.
I guess you're right, and it'd have to be a pretty big like AoE. This way, you don't have to all be in a straight line and get wrecked by anything.
Yeah.
But
like, I mean, it works though. The AoE movement speed works as well. That's a little less creative, but.
And that's Jimmy was saying, like, giving exact numbers is kind of ridiculous at this point. But they're adding AP ratios to a lot of moves because supports are gonna. This is what supports are gonna do. Well, I don't have wards, but I have all this money. What do I do with all this money? Should I buy items? Take my money. Like, you know, they're gonna.
If a support was doing that, they were playing at a bronze level.
Give me a hat.
If you had that type of money, there were support items. There was Shirelia's.
No, I'm saying that's what they're gonna say now. Like,
they're
gonna be like, I'm not used to having so much money. What do I do? It's just like buy items.
Get a hat.
Oh.
Get a hat. Yeah, sure.
Give me a hat.
They're gonna make an item that's based off of a hat. Well, I mean, that's what the silly cap is.
Yeah, silly cap, bro.
All right.
So overall,
I'm so used to just calling it silly cap now. It's like when you refer to it as a proper hat, I'm like, what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah. Well, then overall, right now, I think the strongest supports are just getting small nerfs as well. So makes sense. The supports whose like AP ratios were too high, they lowered them a little bit because they're going to be getting more items and stuff like that. So
Janna was the huge one that I was thinking of.
Janna, Sona as well.
Sona, yeah.
Yeah.
So nice.
So, if I can ever find this. Okay, here we go. So, we're losing brushes and we're gaining brushes. This
no more
is
banana
huge.
bush.
No more banana bush.
We get like a half banana bush.
No, we get no banana
It's not
bush.
the same.
It's not the same. We also don't get that like little brush, like that random brush that's in the middle of the river.
Oh, they took that one out?
We still have it on Dragon side, I believe, but we no
Yeah,
longer
on Dragon
have it
side, but on
Baron
Baron side.
Yeah.
And Moose, do you remember when like Dragon used to be enveloped by bush and you didn't know if they were doing Dragon or not back in beta?
So, same with Baron, or then the brush by mid lanes, they were straight, and then in the middle they would come out like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was different. The lanes were all brushed all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was just crazy. There was so much difference.
Mm-hmm.
So much different. The game's evolved a lot though, and I think it's good. So essentially, like their main changes on this, okay. So there's that they added that I think is I don't know if I say dumb, but it's crazy to assume that they did this because there's a brush across from wolves, and it like on that wall, on the back wall of wolf, around that like banana wall-ish type place.
Yeah.
So it's like an enemy jungle can just wait in there. You start killing wolves, and it's just like, I can kill that guy. Pop out of nowhere, Garen. Drop bows on it.
Full of Garen.
Yeah.
Red
Shout out
pot.
to Trick2G. What do you think about the bushes? How do you think they're gonna affect the lane, Matt?
As far as laning, like top lane will be the most affected, I guess, because they have the most champions that kind of have any sort of relevance towards bushes, like in general. Bottom lane, it's going to make like the fact that we can only have 3 or 4 or whatever it is wards now, and now there's 3 bushes in bottom lane seems unnecessary. Like it seems like they're just like hurting vision more than they really need to be doing it. But I mean, yeah, it's fine. Like if they ward 1 bush and you can stand in another, like playing as Thresh or something like that, like it's going to make the hook champions a lot better in bottom lane. The river bushes being pushed back further is interesting. The top lane one looks bigger. I'm not sure if that's just a mistake on this image or what, but the river bushes being pushed back a little bit means like vision control will be a little bit easier there. So I don't know if that's like to compensate for how hard it's going to be to have vision in the lane, but yeah, a lot more through the lane ganks than through river ganks, I think.
Yeah, especially considering there's 3 brushes now. There's the kind of like the original 2, but they cut off early. Or then in the location where there's no brush right now, they're adding a brush there, and like that's gonna be really nice for lane ganks, I feel. So once again, adding to the carry jungler because they'll be able to make more plays in the lane.
They're also removing the brush around, like the brush that goes around the corner for blue buff. So you don't have like.
Oh yeah.
So they don't have like teams hiding behind that like a little bend of the wall that you can't see.
So the big thing that I don't know if you guys really noticed is any brushes that where you could put a vision ward somewhere, then not reveal the other one, like because banana brush has like the bottom place where you put a ward and the top place where the wards don't see each other. They want to get rid of that. They want to make it so if you put a vision ward, you can see the other wards that are in that brush no matter where they're at.
Yeah.
I think that's something that they want to get rid of.
And it was kind of necessary because I do believe that the amount of wards that will be on the map at any one time will decrease. So like they needed to do that if you're not going to have that many wards to like just scope out those problem areas. So.
Exactly, agreed. And I feel like they're getting pushed back. The brush getting pushed back from lane and like the river brush that gets pushed back is super nice because of the fact that when you like if someone is gonna gank you, you have that extra half a second or whatnot to react. It's not gonna be like he takes a step and he's instantly in lane. Now he takes a step, he's in river for a second. Now he's in lane, and that's super nice for top and bottom.
Yep.
Most definitely. Makes ganking seem a little bit harder now, through river at least.
Yeah, and they're also getting rid of actually they're probably also getting rid of the dragon side little brush. It's probably just not marked on here because they're getting rid of red side brush also, which is kind of weird. So that's kind of interesting.
What does that little brush even hold? Like, what significance does it hold anyways? Is it just to break vision?
The red buff one?
No, the small one. The small bush in the middle of the river.
Kind of. It's kind of like not necessary.
It's not necessary,
it's like a
but
bush.
It's a party bush. Yeah, like that's its traditional role as it's as a party bush, but it was also kind of there to make dragon dances a little bit more less visible, I guess. So.
Okay.
But the thing that it was is it benefited blue side too much at Baron dances. It benefits blue side.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that at all. But yeah, like and to your point, Moose, I do think that they might remove that bush while they're at it, because I mean, like to make the map more symmetrical as a result. So.
Well, they already said they're removing the Baron side one, but I think they're also reducing the blue.
The dragon
like, if you notice, on this one, they also didn't mark the red buff being reduced, and they removed the red buff on the other side. So I feel like those will both be gone. They just haven't been marked.
Sloppy handwork. Sloppy.
Sloppy.
Yeah.
God.
You know, the thing that I'm really interested though about like these bush changes is seeing how the LCS teams will like tackle this on, especially with their new teams now. The new team members that some of these teams will have.
Wait, LCS is getting new team members?
No way.
No, yeah.
7 out of 10, Jimmy.
7 out of 10? Yeah, I botched that up real bad, but whatever.
It's not as bad as my transitions, dude. Like, dude.
I know, that's why he got a 7, and you got like
yeah,
a
that's
4.
why I got a 7 instead of a 6. I still botched it up.
I thought I got like a 4, dude.
No, well, yeah, that's right. Then you really botched it up by not even taking responsibility over it. But like teams like let's see, we have the old roster changes from like CLG that like were announced 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so we made that announcement in the last video.
Oh, did we? Yeah, so
we discussed how everybody got screwed and how Cop is back.
No, that was Cursed. We talked.
That was the Cursed.
Oh wait. Oh, Curse. You're right. What was I talking about?
You were talking about Curse. I was talking about CLG.
Oh, CLG. Yes. Yes,
They
CLG.
tend to
right.
get mixed up, Moose. I can't blame you for that one because Curse gets all the CLG leftovers most of the time. So you know what?
Exactly.
I give you some. I'll give you some slack there. But like the CLG changes that happened, like let's see, Chowster retired, so they lost him, and Big Fat LP was benched. So
Wow.
that is pretty
Who would have
huge.
guessed? Who would have guessed? Totally not me and Jimmy, but
No, yeah, me and Moose called that because those were the two that we were like, I don't know, they're not pulling their way. They're good, but they're not like at optimal level. They're not at the level that they need to be for season 4. So me and Moose called that. Chowster, good luck to him, whatever he does. He's retired from the LCS. Big Fat LP, I'm not sure if he's actually going to stay benched or not, simply because I don't know what other jungler that CLG can just snag.
And another thing is they're kind of pushing for these carry junglers. Big Fat LP used to play carry junglers. That was always his main role. Like back in season 1, that's all he played. So
yeah, so Big Fat LP being benched might not be a permanent thing, but again, the one thing that Monte Cristo did make clear was like they were having tryouts. They wanted to get better team synergy with these changes. So that is one thing that he did emphasize a lot. But aside from that, I don't know if they've announced a final roster for CLG as a result too. So they'll be in flux until the LCS starts proper.
Does anyone know the date that LCS starts?
I don't think they've announced that.
I think it starts like a month after season 4.
Yeah, and they haven't announced it.
Because they have to give them enough time for season 4 changes to adapt.
Yeah.
That's something they've kind of always done.
Even though, in my opinion, it would be just great to see like how they adapt in the LCS, but that's
start the day of the change.
Yeah, start the day of the change and see what they do.
Well, they would probably play the shit out of PBE. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I mean, to be fair, that's exactly what they'll do to prepare for this stuff. But it's just as a spectator, I'm like, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna adapt well enough? Like, who are the people that are gonna adapt in front of you through LCS, or like who are the people that like just take advantage out of it? Everybody's kind of like not knowing how things work and stuff. But I don't know. That's just me as a spectator.
Spectators.
Spectator.
Let's see. What other team had a roster change?
Oh,
Coast.
Oh, Coast.
Coast. Yeah, Coast had like we're not gonna get to the big one, not yet. But Coast dropped "Don't Mash Me" if I recall correctly. So that happened. Not like there are too many Coast fans out there, but
that was the thing.
That was a thing. The bigger rumor that's going around is that Chaos is being courted by Coast
Scouted.
to join them. You doubt it, Moose?
I said he's being scouted.
It's being scouted. All right.
Yeah, I think it definitely could happen. I think it's definitely a possibility.
Right.
Chaos constantly on his stream talks about how he wants to he kind of wants to be back. And one thing that sorry, hold on, I dropped something. Something that like Chaos hasn't been streaming lately. I wonder why.
Speculation.
Oh.
All right, and so that happened.
Other than the king, what happened to the King of Kings?
The King of Kings.
The King of Shot Calling, obviously.
The King of Shot Calling.
Really? You would consider him king of shot calling?
No, I would consider him the king of aggressive shot calling. I'll give Moose that much.
No,
Yeah.
I was kind of being sarcastic because every time I think of Reggie shot calling, I think of that moment where he played Zillion mid, and he was just like he ran. Then I was like, I'm gonna run back in mid because I think I can do it. Then Jace caught him off guard. Then he brought top, and he caused a quadra pretty much, like 4 deaths for their team.
Yeah. So Reginald is retiring now.
Wait, Reginald? I thought we were talking about the odd one.
The odd one, no. When does the odd one ever play Zillion?
Never. I was joking.
Jungle Zell.
Yeah.
Jungle Zell. Good thing.
But no, something to keep in mind is Dan Din became the new nanny for Cloud9.
Oh, that was
And
the king.
yeah, dude, Dan Din is still one of my favorite players. I don't give a fuck. Like all of the old Epic Gamer, the EG team I really like still to this day. But
I only
so
remember
then-
2 people from Epic Gamer, but go ahead.
then it was Sauce, and God, I can't think of their two names right now. But yeah, it was. So that happened, and the moment I knew that, I was like, TSM is gonna have to fill that in because they're all kind of always at each other's throats, I would say, and without having that like middle ground for a person who could kind of coordinate, they'd be in trouble. So I wouldn't say expected Reggie doing it, but I thought they'd have to find someone to fill it, and Reggie retiring seems to make the most sense.
Yep. Yeah, he did say what you will about Reggie, about his personality, about his shot calling, but he really was, and still remains to be like one of the most important figures in League of Legends and how the competitive scene developed.
I think the biggest faces of League of Legends are obviously Reggie, Hotshot, GG. I think without those two people, like, the game would be much different right now, at least in the competitive scene.
Right, yeah. And yeah, there are some other big names in there too, but like I mean those two, like and like even if you are from like in the EU or if you're in Korea, like because it started in North America first and because they kind of like built it up from here, like I mean it really did affect like the world competitive scene in a much bigger way then.
No, like those are two names that you can mention anywhere: Reginald and Hotshot, GG, and everybody knows. Everybody who plays League knows, of course.
Yeah.
Of those names. But yeah, it's sad to see him go. But they are replacing him with young superstar phenom.
Say the name.
I don't want to.
Say the name.
He's gonna mispronounce it.
Dude,
Hold on. Hold
Can't-
on.
you can't pronounce that European
No,
name.
I
Moose.
didn't see it one more time, okay? Sorry. Shit. Because Hold on. I got this.
He's gonna fail.
Wrong. Hold on. I got this. Where is it at? Why is that the CLG? Why can't I find it? There's the TSM one. Okay, I got this. Look.
But in other news, well, Moose,
Shirkson. No, I messed it up.
you messed it up. You messed it up.
Shit. How do you say it?
Bjergsen.
Bjergsen, yeah.
Damn it! I put too much. Damn it. Okay. Well, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, it was whatever.
Bjergsen. Okay, yeah. So 17 years old. Maybe he might be turning 18 soon, but I know he was 17 like a few months ago, and just able to play in LCS, and he was looking good. Like he played for the Wolves. He was looking good.
Well, the Wolves turned into somebody else.
Ninjas in pajamas.
There you go.
Oh. Well, I know they started like 0-3, and then they finished like 15-13 or something crazy.
After they brought in Bjergsen.
Yeah, and then they ended it. They were one of the teams tied for second in the EU LCS. So
Yep. One thing I want to talk about is a lot of EU players and like other scenes are kind of starting to come to NA, or they're talking about it, I should say.
Well, I mean, like, it's not even a talking. You have a Loco Doco that, like, you know, he used to be from NA way back in the day, but, like, I mean,
He's still a Korean player, like.
Yeah, so he's coming to the NA. Him and his team are in the NA now. And now you have Bjergsen, like, a lot of people that were kind of worried about, like, well, what if just NA becomes this place where just a bunch of foreign teams just come in camp? And I'm like, you know what, there's something to that. But I mean, on the other hand, there's also something to the argument where it's like, well, just step up your game, NA. What's going on here? You've had the game longer than any other region, and for some reason we haven't been producing like that level of player. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and I agree, and I'm kind of happy with all this. So something I wanted to go out leaving with this is what teams are going to relegation.
Well, we already know which teams are going to relegation.
I know.
Are you asking like which teams are
I'm
not
asking a question. Curse, and who's the other team going? Coast.
Yeah, Curse, Coast, and that other team that
Velocity.
played the Singed.
Oh, Velocity. Yeah,
Velocity. There
he
you go.
He just said it. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Matt just said it before.
Yeah, Matt said it, and it took a while for me to register that was actually a team name.
So who makes it and who doesn't make it?
Oh, Velocity can't make it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think
man.
Velocity will be able to make it this time.
I'm honestly still surprised they made it the first time.
Who did they beat, actually? Was it Marn or
No, CG.
or
Complexity Gaming.
Okay,
Yeah.
Complexity. All right.
I was pretty sad. But Complexity is coming in with a much stronger lineup. I am really excited. I think Complexity gets in LCS this year. I think Loco Doco's team probably will make it in.
Well, we still have the two Curse teams that are
Is
still
that
around.
Curse Academy or Curse Academy and
Curse Black or something.
Yeah, like I mean, they're doing the old school CLG tactic of being like CLG Prime, CLG Black, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
It's Team LOL Pro or something like that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's right, Little Pro, because Nightjackie's new tag is Pro Nightjackie.
Yeah.
That's right.
okay.
So we have Nightjackie's team. What does Curse Academy? Who do they have?
Rux.
I don't.
They
think
lost. They lost Dominate.
And they lost Dominate, they have Rux, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I don't think Curse Academy will be making too much of a splash. Nightjackie, depending on whether you believe that, depending on how much you think Nightjackie brings, will depend on your.
I'm excited. I feel like there's a lot of talent coming into the LCS this year. And like I said before, it's not even the LCS that I'm looking forward to the most. It's the what was the name of that? The whole the league that they're starting to get into LCS. That's what I'm
the Coke
champion.
Zero one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Champion Series.
The Challenger Series.
Challenger. There we go. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that looks super exciting and hype. There's a bunch of teams. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I haven't heard a lot from that though. Like I mean, the hype has kind of died down on that. So
it has, but it's still hype because you know what? A bunch of teams that we know nothing of, mostly know nothing of, are really going to be watching them play every week. You know what I mean? This is like for people who aren't good at the game. This is something that you can watch and learn and like pick up new favorites, pick up more. Like I feel like it's just going to bring more to the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because like in all reality, LCS you see the same fucking people every week, and you know how they play, you know who they pick, you know their styles. Bringing in fresh faces like this is really good.
Right.
Yeah. So, anything else you guys wanted to bring into it?
I'm pretty sure we covered everything, did we?
Yeah, we covered everything in general.
So one last thoughts on everybody's season 4 predictions. Thoughts? What you think the game's gonna be? And we'll wrap it up with that.
Okay. Oh, one thing that we didn't bring up before we go into closing thoughts. Ocelot. We didn't say that he retired.
Obviously, it was not.
That's another huge figure.
He was really big in the EU.
Yeah. He got big in season 2, I think, or was it season 1? I don't remember how back.
I thought it was a big champ in season 2.
They were, the SK went to Worlds in season 2.
Okay. Yeah. So we can't forget about Ocelot. Definitely a pretty large figure in the EU, and globally too. He ran his brand pretty well, if we're gonna be honest.
He did. He definitely did.
So.
Is he just like straight up retiring, or is he like moving down to another position?
You know what? I'll be honest, since I'm the one who like brought that to everybody's attention. I found out that Ocelot was retiring through the Alex Each article where he was saying, yeah, I feel pretty bad about Reggie and Ocelot retiring. But like, as far as the exact announcement, I wasn't able to find anything aside from his Twitter saying that he was leaving SK.
Okay.
Yeah, like who knows what he does? Like he could be retiring temporarily. We have a Chauster situation where it's like we don't know what their plans for the future is. So.
Yeah.
All I know is go TSM. No, I'm just kidding.
Go TSM.
But go TSM. I'm really excited. I want to see what happens this next season. Cloud9 and everything. Like Meteos is gonna like explode because Meteos loves carry junglers.
Yeah.
Meteos, in my opinion, is the best player in the LCS.
Really?
Yeah. Who's better than him?
I don't know. I was
Maybe okay. He's definitely the best jungler. I don't know if you could say the best player because there's so many different.
I was about
mechanics.
to say, where does Double Lip fit in there?
Double Lip is also like top 3, man. Double Lips are like the most ridiculous thing you can have. So yeah, so final thoughts on season 4, and then we'll wrap up.
I think they're going in the right direction with the vision changes. I'm really interested to see how they're going to make the support scale, because that's the biggest thing that I'm really worried about is like with the support scaling, how much utility can you really scale up? How much movement speed can you get up there before you kind of like break the game? And I guess like the overall theme that I have with all these changes, I'm just very skeptical because season 3 was supposed to kind of be like about addressing these issues, and they kind of did with like Sightstone and some of the jungle changes. But by the end of the day, I don't think that they went far enough with season 3, and I don't know if they're going to go far enough with season 4. But who knows? Hopefully they prove me wrong. But we will see is kind of like my attitude towards these changes.
So basically, you're playing the Anthony game.
No, I
Okay.
am skeptical about it.
Okay.
I am kind of jaded about it. I'm not being neutral at all here.
Neutral Anthony here. God damn it.
Yeah, you ruined yourself. You rose
Hey,
up to the like, hey,
I
you're
had
neutral
this-
like me, aren't you? I'm like, no, fuck you. I'm jaded.
Damn it. Why can't you be like me?
You are like you. So
Why? Because he goes to law school and he's got you beat.
yeah, that's true. Yep. Anyways,
Damn it.
what do you think,
So-
Anthony?
Oh,
Oh, okay. I'm just hoping that it doesn't like. I feel like I really don't want to pull the Anthony neutral card again, but I have no idea what to expect from this next season. Like, how I'm interpreting it is just like the support, like the bush changes obviously is gonna affect how we just like Baron dances and Dragon dances, but I don't know what to expect because there's so much that Riot can do to the game like they did in season 3 with the splash with the jungle changes and the bush changes is pretty major and stuff like that. So I don't know what to expect. I'll just play the game, see how it happens, and just roll with it. Neutral.
All right.
I would say that like for as far as season 4 is concerned, like I'm a lot less excited to play in season 4 than I am to watch season 4. Like as far as like the playing is concerned, like it's a lot different than it is now. So it's going to be a lot of practice and things like that. And I think that they're going to have to change a lot of the numbers and things like that they already have planned as far as the PBE is concerned. And I think that Vision is going to go through a couple changes too. I don't think it's going to stay as they have it planned now. And then the trinkets are going to be interesting and stuff like that. But like it'll be interesting to figure all that out on my own. But the thing I'm going to enjoy the most is watching streamers play season 4 and learning from that and watching how the LCS kicks up next season. I'm hoping that we see some new teams. And I'm hoping that like the roster changes that we've seen so far, as far as old faces stepping down from some of the teams that they're really iconic with, and picking up new players from different regions and things like that. I'm excited to see who comes out on top, and I like season 3 was more or less a disappointment in my opinion. That with Cloud9 winning so many games in the NA LCS, it was always really one-sided. Like it was really easy to have predictions on who was going to win each game, and I want to watch more close games. So I'm hoping that the roster changes, and then also with the scaling and the different things that they're changing as far as season 4 is concerned, and making the jungler and support maybe be able to influence a game really heavily, and making all 5 of the players on a roster affect the game. I really feel like this season 4 is going to be insanely incredible to watch. And then with Twitch the way it is now, and more people becoming aware of it, I think it's going to be a huge season.
Wow, that's really well put. Yeah, I agree. I'm super excited to watch it. I think I'm like you are. I love playing League, but I've always kind of watched it more than I've played it, and I think that's when I started getting hurt more with my gameplay. But like, it's gonna be fantastic. The changes to support is possibly the support and jungle changes are the things I'm most excited about. But I just want to see this game evolve more and more, and every time it evolves, how it changes, how it just everybody's perspective on the game just like changes, and it's just there's so much to it. There's so much that we learn every day about this game, especially with every change, that it's just I want this game to keep going. Also, I want to say, Blizzard's finally joining the team soon. They're finally gonna enter like alpha with their game, their MMO soon. I mean, MOBA.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, are they making like a LOL team? What?
No, they're.
That's what I thought. I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I was
Blizzard,
like, what?
Blizzard's finally is finally joining their own party that they kind of didn't start, but were part of originating this game, this game style, and they're finally making their own game.
Ironically, and it's a tangent that I'm not going to pursue further since we're
See,
ending, but it's one of those things that Blizzard had in their hands. They had the freaking creation of a MOBA, and they did not do anything with it.
Yep. And honestly, they might be a little late, but I'm still gonna play it just because I'm a big Blizzard. I'm a big Warcraft world fan. I'm not like WoW. I don't really enjoy anymore. I used to enjoy it, but like I was a huge Warcraft 2 and 3 fan, and that is why I think I'm gonna play the game. I might not necessarily pick it up or whatnot and keep playing it over League, but I'm definitely gonna play it. So you'll probably be seeing that more. Once again, thank you everybody for showing up. This has been one of our longest podcasts, if not the longest podcast. Lots of fun. Season 4 is going to be great. Please make sure you... What do they have to do, guys?
I don't know. I never do it.
They have to be dank. That's
Dank!
the first thing.
Yeah.
That's the first thing they gotta be. They gotta be dank. How do you do that? You like, subscribe, and follow us on our respective channels.
Everybody, yes. Oh, wait, we didn't pimp each other out. What are we doing? Golly. Anthony, go ahead. Go ahead. I am terrible.
Yeah,
But I don't have anything. I don't stream on anything anymore.
So go. Don't. No one cares about Anthony. He's too neutral.
Fine.
She knows where to
Anyway,
find you.
if you want to find me, and if I'm streaming, you can find me at twitch.tv/Leon760.
His in-game name is Leon760. If you ever want to play against him or do that, you can add him there too.
I'm bad. Don't do it.
He's like gold 2 or something.
No, I'm
he's
not.
probably the best ranked among us four. Is the worst part about this.
Yes, shut the fuck up, damn it. Okay, Jimmy, where can we find you?
Wait. Do we still have this whole plat bet with Moose going on?
Next season, yeah, it's still happening. Next season is happening. Jimmy, go ahead.
Okay, so you can find me at twitch.tv /C2C_Shiro. I've been streaming Binding of Isaac lately, but I stream a lot of other stuff. I've sometimes streamed Sunset Riders. I've streamed Ketsui before, which is an old shooter.
Pink Poncho.
Yeah, Cormano. Everybody, you have to pick Cormano in that game. There is absolutely no excuse not to pick the guy with the pink sombrero and the pink poncho.
It's done. And Matt, I know you got something to plug in. I want you to plug it in. Plug in the shit out of it.
So basically, I haven't been on the podcast in a while, and the last time I was talking about setting up a website for my store, and we got it set up finally. So that's just like where we're at. The A2ZGames.com. Buy your Magic singles there. We also sell board games, and we're always expanding into new stuff like that. So board games, HeroClix, Magic cards, any of your other kind of nerd hobbies that aren't video games, really, we kind of have you covered there. So that's a business that I own, and we're online. We're trying to expand even further than that. We're hosting big tournaments. If you're in the Arizona State area, you should like us on Facebook, facebook.com/theAtoZGames, and you can follow our events there. Friday Night Magics, Tuesday Night Magic, Sunday Night Magic, and then our big events are going to start up on Saturdays. We're hosting 4 AMIQs, so if you're interested in going to the Arizona Magic Invitational, we'll be hosting 4 qualifiers for that between now and March of next year. So come on down to A2Z Games. If you can't come on down, order your cards there and help us get bigger. We're going to get on TCG Player and stuff soon, so hopefully we can help supply more Magic players with the stuff they need.
He is an awesome man. Do make sure you check him out. Like I said, it's the A2Z Games. That's THE, and then A with the number 2, Z, games.com. And of course, myself, you can always find me on Twitch and YouTube. My description will be down below. I am awesome like that. Take it easy. And remember, guys,
I'll
once
crush
again,
all of us.
Once again,
be dank!
Dank!
Please subscribe, follow, and like. Thank you, guys. Have a great time.